Hi everybody, we're going to demonstrate annealing today. Now, I just want a special note, I have safety glasses on. This is important. They have sides, safety glasses on. This is my soldering area. I kind of got it a little fancy. I have my soldering block base. And this isn't all so important to you. I just happen to like to swivel my stuff all over the place. But these two blocks are really important because what they will do is collect the heat and bounce it back on your piece. It's real nice. So we're going to start by annealing this piece of copper, which is really heavy gauge and very stiff. Now, what I'm doing when I'm annealing is I am trying to soften this piece of metal so that I can malleably alter it, move it, shape it, squish it, pull it, all kinds of things. But right now it's pretty hard. I am struggling to bend it. Want to make it nice and soft. So I'm going to use my torch. Oh, please don't roll away. That's the out of control thing about a lazy Susan. Here's my torch tip. And here's my fan. I'm turning on my fan. I'm going to take my striker and I'm going to cup it over the top of my torch tip like this because the heat wants to go upwards. So what I'm doing is I'm trapping the flame in this little cup and throwing a striker in. So it's not the flame, it's actually the gas. It gets caught in here. And so when I turn this on, and I can hear a little hiss. Sometimes, whoop, there we go. Light's beautiful. Now if I do it this direction, you'll notice, well, it actually lit, but a lot of the times it won't, so there we go. It's easiest to light it this way. This is a brand new striker. That's probably why it lit. So now I have a flame, and if you can see it, you'll notice, here, I'll use a pointer. This point here has a bright blue tip, and then there is a kind of a darker, like a royal blue fluffy section, and then there's this orangey stuff. Now if I get it working absolutely perfectly, that's the right balance of oxygen. It's an even balance of oxygen or air coming in to the flame. Now, for annealing, I have a tendency to add just a little bit more oxygen to it. So I'll turn it up to there and you'll see a little more fluffy on the end. Now, I'm going to aim at my metal and keep moving. I never just hold still unless I want to melt something down. So I'm going to sit here and roll back and forth. Now, these bricks are helping me keep this piece warmer than if I had not had something for it to bounce off on. And it's going to take me a while because it's a heavy gauge of copper. So I'm going to keep doing this, and you're going to see this piece of copper change colors. It'll take a little while because this is a heavy gauge of copper. Right now, it looks like it's cleaning itself. It's getting just a snad brighter. I always love that. But the bright stage isn't the most exciting phase. The next phase is it'll start to look kind of yellowy. I call that straw. And now what it's doing, oh, there's the yellow, and now there's a blue going on in between the yellow. Do you see it? It's blue, and then maybe you might even see some purple. Do you see that? Those are the psychedelic colors of annealing. Now, since this is a heavy gauge, I'm going to hold this at this stage and bring it up just a little bit higher than that to what I would call kind of a super dull cherry red. And that is, it's very, very bright where the flame is, and there's just the slightest glow. It is not orange. So if you take it to orange, you're melting your metal down. You're actually kind of destroying it. But if you take it to this point and hold it and go back and forth for a little while, because this is a heavy gauge, I'm going to do it for a little while, this is perfect annealing. So if you can see that bright stripe of copper with the sort of psychedelic colors and the gray on either side of it, it's almost like you're painting stripes, then you know you're annealing. hold that for a little bit, and then when you're done, turn off your flame. And let this guy sit for a little bit because it is copper. I'm going to use my copper tongs here. Those nice. And when I let it drop a little bit in temperature, I will quench it. So actually, if you're at UNM, you will quench it because the pickle has HCl in it. If you are in your own private studio and you are using a non-toxic pickle, like Citra pickle or just vinegar and baking soda, you can quench in the pickle. So this is Citra pickle. I'm going to quench actually in the pickle, like that. Never do that with Sparex pickle, which is the pickle that we use at UNM, because what it does is it makes hydrochloric acid aerosol for you to breathe. That's why we have a hood vent over it. I mean, I have my little fan here, but this wouldn't be good enough if this were Sparex. So that is the basic annealing for copper. Now I'm going to show you some annealing for silver. Once again, here's silver. It's a little bit springy, so that means it's kind of hard, but it's much thinner than that last piece. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to bend a little bend in it just so that you can see it relax. And I'm going to set it there, and I'm going to get it to those psychedelic colors. Tip your flame up. Boop. Now I'm not going as hot as I was with the copper because the copper absorbs more heat. The silver can get really hot really fast, so I'm going to avoid the shush noise. So it's going to be a much more even balance between oxygen and flame, and I'm going to go back and forth. Now you're going to see what we call straw color. There's straw color. See, it looks kind of yellow or goldy. And now it is going to start to get kind of gray on either side, and sometimes you'll see a hint of blue. Oh, did you see it relax? That's annealing. I'm going to just go a little bit more, but quickly, just so that I can see that brightness, but not so that it turns orange. Do you want to see what orange looks like? I will use a smaller scrap, and I will show you where not to take your silver, okay? Because when you do that, you cause something called fire scale when you take it this far. So I'm going to go back and forth with my flame. We're going to get it to straw. Oh, this is actually a piece of pure silver, and it's not going to sew. I'm not going to play that game with it, but you'll notice that the lines that I had on it disappeared. So what you can also do when you're doing silver is you can draw a Sharpie line and go back and forth until your Sharpie line is gone. And then you can go, oh, I think that's done. What you don't want to do is let it turn orange. That's all. Here, what I will do, I will pickle these. I will get another scrap. Here you are. Boom. Always keep yourself a pile of little scraps that you can play with and also return for money. Look at that piece. See that curly piece? That is sharp and nasty. I'm going to melt it down for you. Here we go. You're going to see orange. La 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 la. Okay. Woo! Look at that! That is not, see how it's orange? That is not what you want to do to your silver, okay? So you notice, smaller pieces will heat up faster. Bring your flame way down and sneak up on it, okay? That was annealing and melting down. Thank you. I will also show you a little bit about why this happens.